My microphone is live. Hello, 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 folks. I got a special guest for our tier list today.
Hello,
Yes, we got Drake.
it's me, Drake.
It's you. Ta-da! And of course, my Discord display shit isn't working. Refresh. Come on. There we go. There's everybody. Look at us. So cute. Okay. Um so let's get started. I know you kind of working on one in the background. The first character I got is Leech Woman, and she has her usefulness, but she doesn't have enough spike damage in Puppet Wars to really like sway an execution. But she's good for like getting dot damage on Monster Teddy and stuff. For me, that's like solid B territory, like right in the middle, because she can chase down like Mr. Static. It's just she doesn't have that high enough damage to like really secure big kill moments. Would you
Yeah,
would you agree with that?
yeah. When designing Leech Woman's kit, um, her whole purpose is to prevent a human from healing. Like that was her core design philosophy, is to keep that health regeneration from triggering.
Right.
And against another puppet, it's not as great, but also it makes that puppet player panic because they're just losing health like crazy, and you can just spit leeches constantly and make that health degradation go by quicker, which is and this is great. It's going to make them panic and make mistakes, and you can get a few stabs in there while you're doing that. Drop a leech trap on them. It's not bad. She's not bad for puppet versus puppet, but she's way more effective against humans.
I agree. I think that's a good solid spot to start, and it kind of gives us a good baseline. So now we have Ravager. I feel like Ravager is kind of polarizing because some people feel like he's not useful, some people feel like he's very useful. I'm kind of in the very useful side of it because if you can learn to do that right click quickly, not only are you stunning your enemy puppet, but if you're left unchecked, you can melt Six Shooter, Tunneler. I've melted Baby Oopsie, Grizzly Teddy. It's all about kind of picking your moment and then just melting somebody down. You don't want to be in a 2v1, but he can pick people off really well. That being said, I would put him at a solid A.
I would
I
agree.
already have some thoughts for S tier. Yeah, so might be polarizing. I put Ravager at a A. We can go ahead and move right along to Mr. Static. Mr. Static in Puppet Wars is a good mixer. I think if people were a little more thoughtful about using missile on executions to knock enemies away from especially if it's a toy on the human executing, you can protect that execution. And he's really good for picking off, like, say, Zombatoid or lower HP puppets or totems. Though he can get caught with his pants down pretty easily. I wouldn't say he's like an A tier, but I would put him in a B because he has good utility and he can clutch moments. Uh, I'm a little conflicted. I'd like him between A and B because there are times that I can think of where I just snipe somebody off of human, taking his range into consideration. Hmm.
He's
Maybe
definitely
we
going to
move
pull
him.
people away from defending the uh, the execution. Like if you're starting to fire at the enemy, that might make them flustered and make them try to attack you instead of defending. You can aggro
Yeah.
people with them and then have them chase you down the hallway and use your boost to pull them away from the fight. I mean, it all depends on who you're fighting, really. I think he's very good. He's a good support. Like he's kind of like the heavy weapons guy on your team.
Yeah.
He's going to
Yeah.
be
Demo man.
constant. Yeah, constant suppression fire, and then great for melee puppets or whatever to close the distance, support those characters while they're dealing damage. You can soften them up for the melee puppets.
I
He
think
he
I'll put him
doesn't
with
do a
Leech
whole lot of
Wood.
damage. And his bolts are slow, so you can kind of get out of the way of them if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
The further away he is, the harder it is to hit because of the bullet speed.
All right, let's move on to Jester. Jester, because of his sustain, holy crap. Hello, Wade. Thank you for the raid, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Hope you guys had a good night. Hope you're here to check out this tier list we're making. I know, Soul. Wade raided. Let's talk about Jester and Puppet Wars. One, healer, which is huge. Two, party popper, which can be used to protect executions. And three, his iframes, which if used properly, you could basically play harass and keep three of the enemy faction on you while you take them away and your teammates are executing. Like, he's a good distraction character with a heal, with a ragdoll. He's definitely solid A territory, if not just below S, because I mean he can get overwhelmed and he doesn't really have kill potential, but he can change a situation. I would say he's definitely an A-list Puppet Wars puppet.
Jester's whole purpose is to make sure everyone's focusing on him.
Yeah.
Like designing him, we wanted him to be the puppet that you want to kill the most. He's going to be healing the other puppets. He's got a lot of health and he's got a pretty decent dodge that's going to allow him to stay alive a lot longer and just get you more frustrated with him. His biggest weapon is annoying the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So if the entire enemy team's chasing you, you're doing your job as Jester, and then make sure you just
exactly
pop a heal and keep running. Drop a party popper on Oopsie's head and run away. Just really annoy them.
A lot of utility, a lot of use. Definitely a solid A-list puppet. Now we're looking at Sutekh. Sutekh has the kill potential. He can stand there and stay on the execution and try to help keep, enemies off of it. He has enough health that if he's got support in the area, he can secure an execution. He can tango with most puppets. He's immune to most ragdolls. Has one decent projectile that has pushback. And he does have a ragdoll that he can ragdoll anything in his path that's susceptible to it. So he has a lot of options to help you secure that human execution in Puppet Wars. And he's got kill potential, but he doesn't feel so overbearing like you're just steamrolling people. I would like to put Sutekh at an S, which seems, kind of easy given that he's a dominator, but I feel like a lot of your S tier puppets or totems are going to be those characters that if they're at full health and they initiate an execution, they can guarantee you those bonus points. That's pretty huge for the game mode.
Sutekh is definitely all fight.
Yes.
His focus is on just fighting. Never stop fighting. He's got no defensive options. It's all of his stats are put into his attack power. His biggest defense is just his health pool. He's slow, so he can't really get away. Yeah, that too.
Now, Tunneler. You know how much I wish I could put Tunneler at S? I love Tunneler, man. He's so fun to play. But he is more of a distraction or used to rescue teammates. You see somebody running from a toy or a totem at low health, if you get a piece of them with that drill, they're going to slow down. You're going to buy that teammate some time. He's got good chase to help keep those enemies off of him. He also paints those targets. And like characters like Static, your less mobile, little squishier characters, he does stand a chance of trying to get a 1v1 on them. But as soon as, say, Jack Attack, Jack Attack or Headhunter or Mephisto enter the fray, Tunneler starts struggling. So again, he may have to be a B-list puppet, but he does serve his purpose. He does have utility.
When designing Tunneler, we wanted to focus. He's at his best when no one's paying attention to him. So if you're busy trying to fight a blade off you, or Pinhead's like pummeling you and you can't move, and all of a sudden Tunneler just comes up from the side and starts drilling your leg, now you're just losing health that much faster. I mean, I'm looking at this mainly from the perspective of a human player.
Right.
Him in Puppet Wars, it's very, in the Puppet Master mode, he struggled, but I feel like something he works a little bit better in Puppet Wars for some reason. We didn't change him. I think it's just him versus the toys is a little easier than versus totems.
There's more characters with lower mobility that he can kind of pick on and actually get that. And like going back to the execution mechanics, Tunneler can down a bot human and melt their red health pretty instantly. So if he catches a human by himself, he could down and execute that human pretty much with no one batting an eye.
Yeah, if you're playing Tunneler in Puppet Wars, your focus should be on finding that human. Use your speed to scout, find the human, then drill and kill them as quickly as you can to get points for your team. If you're fighting Baby Oopsie with Tunneler, you're gonna die. Baby Oopsie is probably gonna kill you. But we would focus on doing that objective, or helping, or killing a werebear or Monster Teddy if you see it.
Yeah, he's actually really good for that because he's like a gnat that they can't hit. Like,
or canceling execution. If someone's doing execution, just Tunneler, now's your time to shine. Go in there.
Yeah, just dig. Yeah.
Yeah. He's very situational, but when the situation arises, he does a great job. And when we designed him initially, he's all about getting that down health. Tunneler's the guy you want on your team when the human goes down, because Blade, 6-shooter, all the high DPS puppets that destroy standing health don't have that. They don't have that down health damage. And Tunneler, he does that. So does Leechable a little bit too. Each team has that down damage dealer, and each team has a standing damage dealer.
That kind of gives you balance within your factions. There's always a role that somebody should be filling, whether it's in Puppet Wars or Puppet Master or Thief or Manhunt. There's roles that all these characters fit within those game modes that kind of brings the most out of them. Let's move on to everyone's favorite pants shitter, Baby Oopsie. Baby Oopsie. What if what's intentional? Him shitting his pants?
We can't see all of your.
It's kind of because I'm having to scroll up and down. We're gonna get a good shot of the whole thing. So Baby Oopsie, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it at S, and I'll tell you why. On his dash, there's damage immunity and ragdoll immunity. He's got heal with perks. He's got self heal. With his heal item, he has like blade vision. He has aura vision all around him when he has that medallion out. And he can scrap with the best of them. Good solid damage on the right click on the dagger. And the pistol, nice heavy hit, nice ragdoll to help get you and your teammates in position, whether it's Thief, Manhunt, or Puppet Wars. He can make plays happen and keep everybody up while he does it, including himself. And that's why I feel like Baby Oopsie's got a solid S tier position. He's got the sustain, he's got the damage, and he's got the support.
Oh, I love Oopsie. He's definitely my favorite toy to play as, mainly because of the voice, but also I just I love the hack and slash combat with the dash, and
Oh yeah, he's super fun to
yeah,
play. Super fun to
Beca-
play.
and because he's slower than Blade, like I can land more of my attacks more frequently. And but I'm more of a target, but he can take that damage. He's got twice as much health as Blade.
Right. He definitely
He's like
can.
he's like
Go
a
ahead.
more DPS version of Jester.
Absolutely, I would agree 110%. He's basically super jester, which is why I'm very confident with him going in S tier right above Jester because he basically does everything Jester does just a wee bit better. At least in my
Just
opinion.
Jester's syringe is better for the puppets than Oopsie's medallion is for the
I
toys.
mean that's
You can
true.
make
He does get a solid spike. Jester gets that solid spike kill while Oopsie's got to rely on heal over time.
yeah, and his heals are just not as they're not as the initial heal is like I don't have the numbers memorized, but it's like 20 health or something like that. It's nothing as substantial as uh, Jester's elixir.
Yeah. All right. Then who do we have now? Torch. People may disagree with me, but if Torch is an A, then he's S. And honestly, if since we're talking Puppet Wars, I kind of want to put him at a solid S. And the reason being is he is your crowd control on the puppet faction. He can help get executions off with the bomb, like get enemy executions off. He's a good kill stealer. Throw a bomb on and just start barbecuing. People are either going to run away or they're going to melt. He's very good for a aggressive DPS puppet in these puppet versus totem versus demonic toys. Like either way you kind of hash it out, he's going to be a standout in those matches. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Torch
that's
really shines against puppets, against other puppets. He's very good. Uh, I still think he's really good against humans. I know some of the community disagrees, but
well,
I think he's very strong at he's like Leech Woman, but a little bit more aggressive, and it does a lot more damage with his fire. But it's just the damage over time is shorter than Leech Woman's,
right.
and
The
that bomb.
only thing, if we were talking like say any verse human game mode, I wouldn't bump him down to like C or anything. I would put him at like just down to A because unless you're really good with knowing how those bombs are going to hit or how they're going to bounce, you're going to want to work in tandem with somebody that's got a ragdoll like Pinhead or Six Shooter's Lasso or Jester's Party Popper and try to combo off of that and catch them standing back up and then hit them with the bomb to secure it down. Whereas in the Puppet Wars mode, he gets to kind of go free reign and you're trying to catch, the groups. You see 4 or 5 people fighting in a group, you just throw a bomb down and either they're going to disperse or you're going to clean up.
Oh yeah,
Now, let's talk Jack Attack. He's kind of become an elephant in the room. Um he as it stands right now, he's a solid A because he's got good AoE crowd control, he's got good damage, he's got good stagger. Um I'm half tempted to put him at S because he's good for securing executions as well. It's just he doesn't have the sustain that say like Baby Oopsie has.
he definitely needs Oopsie to be around to sustain. I mean, any tank in the game, other than the tank skin, is gonna need a healer to be around to keep taking that abuse. But if you're talking purely Puppet Wars, you want the characters with the most health to activate those executions, so you have a better time securing those executions. It's less about how long they're on the execution is, and more about how much health they have.
Yeah.
Because
And he's just
really the biggest difference between a lot of the executions is like a second. It depending on like some of the shortest execution is probably a second shorter than the average, and the longest one's probably a second longer than the average. It just depends on what the puppet has to do to
A
kill the
second
person.
a second can mean a lot whenever you got like
Yeah.
2 or 3 beaten on you though. Like that kind of that does come into play. And that's why having that extra health is huge. Speaking of
Hmm.
extra health, let's take a look at Pinhead. Pinhead, I would like to put hmm,
We're talking in Puppet
uh,
Wars.
yeah, I'm talking in Puppet Wars. I think I'd rather go with a B over an A, and allow me to explain myself. His stagger's good, but due to his movement speed and him not having like a travel mode or a movement option, he kind of gets stuck chasing, or he's got to set up to kind of ambush. That being said, he is good for securing executions. He's good for kind of tanking stuff for puppets. And he can
Mhm.
absolutely clear people off with fire poker or wrench. Like it does huge damage. Brick can help secure an execution if you ragdoll somebody attacking your teammate. But as far as staying in the fray, getting kills, getting points on the board, I'd have to put him at B. I mean, where would you put Pinhead if you were to place him?
Um, he's definitely the one I picked the most when I play puppets in Puppet Wars. His brick isn't as good against other puppets as it would be against a human.
Yeah,
Uh, but his health is such a big factor. Like the executions, getting human executions is a big part of the gameplay. So I probably put him in an A just because of that alone. Uh, that it's he has the most health next to Monster Teddy, and that's gonna give him
that's
the
true.
edge.
I think you
That's gonna give
swayed
him
my
the edge on
vote.
that.
I think I'll bump him up based on that. I think you definitely swayed me on that.
And also, just you can knock a lot of the toys around, disorient them in a fight, and that wrench just does some good damage. So you could really do get some kills with them.
Yeah, you definitely swayed me on it. Maybe I'm not a good Pinhead player. Grizzly Teddy with the life sustain, um, the huge damage on Bat. Like if he gets two puppets on him, he's kind of struggling, as most should. But he does have the ability to like say outlive Torch's fire if he can heal himself, and he can make plays happen. I think he's probably another good solid A tier character.
He's a great fighter. You,
Yeah,
you throw him in
he's
a crowd of puppets, and he's gonna make them sweat. You just grab a
absolutely
rabbit Teddy, and you just chuck him into a group of four puppets, and Teddy's gonna ruin their day with his life steal. They're gonna have to focus him down. But the claws don't do a lot of damage because of how much life steal he does. So he's got to
right.
pull the bat that damage in, but then he's losing health. So it's like that's the game you got to play, and you probably want like a trap ready. You open up with the trap,
Ooh,
your bat ready. You
yeah.
swing the bat on them with the trap, and then you just like critical them, and then you wear them down with the claws. That's kind of the thought process behind his kit. Like
I
I
completely
picture,
forgot about the bear trap.
yeah, I pictured people hiding behind corners, the bear trap ready, watching some poor bloke walk by, throw the trap, they get stuck for a brief second. You get your bat ready, you slap them, and you start mauling them until they're dead. Like it's a pretty gnarly kit.
Definitely a fan of it. I've had a lot of fun playing with him. I think he's a solid A tier. Six shooter. Huge potential, but I do feel like he's definitely more geared towards human gameplay. but just because there's like not headshots on puppets.
Right.
He
Yeah.
does have high damage, but he doesn't have that same big, impactful damage he has on a human. I think he's going to be hanging out with Tunneler and everybody in B tier because he can definitely help out. The lasso can kind of sway situations, save teammates. He can snipe people off of human, but he's also slow and people tend to target him quickly because he's a big target. So he doesn't have a lot of uptime in situations.
If you have your
But
lasso
yeah,
ready and you save it for when someone tries to catch you sniping, you could probably
absolutely.
get the kill in and run away before you die, depending on who caught you.
Yeah.
I've gotten some pretty good kill streaks with six shooter using that strategy, just hanging back and shooting at the fight rather than getting into the fight.
Yeah.
You want to you
That's
want
where
to
he
take
needs to
cover.
be.
Yeah, look out for other ranged puppets or healers and focus those people down with his damage. He does the most damage out of any ranged character other than Decapitron. With the six
That's a hell
shots.
of a statement.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind. I'm like, oh man, even over Headhunter?
Well, I mean, think of it damage over time. Like the
Yeah,
headhunter's got a slow fire rate. Six shooter can unleash six bullets at. I'll just give you the number at 8 damage a pop. If he has both his perks on too, that's almost
ooh,
10 damage.
yeah,
It's 60
that's a fair
damage, and
point.
then he's gonna wait 3 seconds. 3 seconds to do another 60 damage. He's a good shot. Like that's a dead puppet.
And that's
And
definitely a
then
good counter for Monster Teddy as well.
oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, you use that in Monster Teddy. He's a very easy target. His weakness is if someone goes, "Oh, there's a six shooter. I want to kill that thing." Like if you don't have your lasso ready, you're kind of screwed unless you're good at jumping around, which I tend to do. I like to get on top of furniture because that really annoys melee puppets. So think about that if you're in a fight. Just jump on top of something.
All right, let's talk about Monster Teddy, the big beast himself. We got door destruction, we got ragdoll immunity, we got huge health pool, we got great damage on puppets, we got an instant door break button or an instant ragdoll clear everything off and massively damage them button, whichever way you want to use it. Uh, Gotta at least be A, if not S. In fact, considering that a full health Monster Teddy or a Monster Teddy with support is almost guaranteed executions, I'm gonna have to put him at S.
He does a lot of life steal on attacks. I don't know if you
Mm,
mentioned,
no, I
which
didn't.
is key. It's really key to using him well.
Is it
Sometimes you
only
just
on
don't.
his bite?
No, its claws do a little bit. Bite does a little bit more life steal,
Okay.
but you're risking. You have to charge it up, so now you're taking damage without recovering. Sometimes it's just best to keep swinging, especially if a torch hit lights you up. You just like wail that torch until he runs out of ammo, and then he's got to reload, and you just keep wailing on him until he dies.
Let's talk Decapitron. Best support by far in Puppet Wars. Huge spike damage on the Tesla. And with the retro head, you get reveal. You can call out where the human is. You have a great projectile weapon that's still viable in those situations. Again, it's an easy S for me.
No, yeah, definitely an S. He's without him, the puppets really struggle without the healing radius, uh, and
Decap
is
Jester comp undefeated.
not undefeated. I've played some decap jester comps. If you got a decap jester comp, that means they're not really doing a whole lot of damage to you. You
Mm-hmm.
have two
Mm-hmm.
people just constantly healing each other. Where it's like, well, all right, that's two less people to fight because that Decapitron is not really doing much than doing a light poison with the static ball, um, and the Jester, doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. It's a problem if there's a blade around. You got to like figure that out. But maybe running away and pulling the blade away from getting away from that fight might be better than trying
Right.
to do it. It depends on what puppet you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
If your team can coordinate and focus down one of the healers, that's great because you can definitely kill Jester
Sway
faster
the
than Decapitron can
situation.
heal. If you have a blade, or not a blade, a DPS style puppet attacking that Jester. Jester's just really fast, and it can be very hard to like focus him down. Or you
And,
focus on
iframes.
Decapitron. Yeah,
Yeah.
focus on Decapitron. I don't know. It could be challenging.
The
So
best
definitely one of the
situations
things
I
we've been looking at.
see is to like have somebody designated that can keep Jester ragdolled long enough for you to work down the Decapitron. That way Jester can't heal Decapitron.
Yeah.
You kind of have to fight a two-pronged battle. Let's talk about Headhunter. I've heard people say Headhunter sucks. I've heard people say Headhunter's great. I'm on team Headhunter slaps. And in Puppet Wars, it's no different. If you can aim that spear, you're talking about 2-shot to 3-shot kills on most totems, or not totems, puppets. He's great for like sniping Jack Attack off of situations. You see Jack Attack in a box, just start loading him down with spears. He's either going to run away or die. Absolute solid A tier puppet because you also have the reveal. You have a travel mode. Um, Maybe I'm just a headhunter stan. I don't know, but he's definitely an easy A tier for me.
No, he's great if you can master the physics with his spear, which is a little weird to get used to, but it's rewarding and it's easy to
Yeah.
mess with it, which is why it does so much damage. So if you can master that, you could wear down Monster Teddy pretty quickly. You can kill Decapitron. Pretty much any tank is going to get wrecked by a headhunter that's playing it safe, keeping their distance, staying quiet.
And if you can aim well enough, you can 2-shot blade, 2 to 3 shot tunneler. Just a solid beast of a totem. What I'm gonna do, since we got everything kind of stacked up here at the top, some of these B's are gonna get slid down to C. First Leech Woman, and I think I'm gonna bring Tunneler down to a C as well. And we're gonna talk about Zombatoid. Zombatoid has iframes. He has a rifle that allows him to snipe, which is great for picking off on executions. The machete has a lunge that can be used to kind of close gaps or get distance. It also hits very hard. His melee play is really solid. Um, he can absolutely sway stuff, but he does have the same health pool as Blade. So that's kind of like if he gets caught, 9 times out of 10, he's going to get melted. I guess I'm going to put him down here in B tier with our other projectile boys because he kind of serves that same niche, but he also has really solid melee options. In fact, I'm going to put him at the front of B tier. Unless you don't have
I've
any.
been
Oh,
getting
go ahead.
I was having a blast playing a Zombatoid last night, getting some really good kills, switching between the sniping and melee. His machete dash can hit multiple characters at once. If
That I
you're
was unaware of.
yeah, it's when you're in that dash, it's constantly emitting damage rays, so you can like clip two characters with it, and it's
That's
great
good to
for
know.
if you're getting teamed up on, just switch to that and try to stay alive. Like one mistake though could end your life because it's a small health pool, which is why he's got so much utility in a fight. Um, it's when you see someone death charging you though, it's probably safe to put away the rifle and get ready for a fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snipe up close is death sentence. But yeah, I really like Zomatoid. I feel like he's gonna raise. People are gonna start using him more. I think they're already starting to get wise to some of his strengths. Um, but yeah, I guess B is good.
Let's talk about Blade. Again, you got another puppet with a sorry, I'm snickering about something she just said. uh you got great iframes on dash. But you got to be able to time those iframes on dash. The hook can be good to pull people off of, say they're chasing a teammate, and definitely huge damage. If you're hitting that 1 2 3, you can really start melting people if you get consistent. It's just you got to be able to stay on target. That being said, he's not a safe executor. He'll get melted off an execution. I kind of
I
want
would
to put
say
him at
because of the
B.
I would say for me, if it was Puppet Wars, I have 1v1 to Monster Teddy with Blade and won because of his speed and
Yeah,
just like constantly like running circles around Monster Teddy and just wearing him down. And you can pretty much do it to any character if you're really good with him. It's just like he's got such a high skill ceiling to get that much utility out of him. Because of his execution, his health pool, he definitely wouldn't be S tier because that is so important in Puppet Wars. Because
exactly.
he can defend. Like if someone's trying to kill one of your allies on an execution, you want Blade there to like kill them because he's going to do enough damage to make them scared and run away. So I don't know. You could go. He's a great defender of an execution, not really so much an executor in Puppet Wars,
Right.
but maybe he can find. He's got the vision, the beady
That's
eyes.
true. He
He
can
can hunt
definitely go
down.
suss out humans.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's enough to put him in A tier. A tier is looking a little stacked, but I think it fits.
I mean, all that's great.
Mephisto. Oh, no. I mean, there's things that I'm not taking into consideration, and you bring it in. You bring it into consideration, and I'm like, yeah, you got a point. Like he is good to protect teammates on execution. Give me a moment, Friendaroo. I'll probably reorganize this based off of like how they are in that tier. Right now, we're just kind of getting them organized into tier, and then I'll fine tune it a little bit. Mephisto. He's got good AoE healing. He's got a decent health pool. He doesn't really have the mobility. Like he's got to have other totems around to kind of grab attention to keep people off of you. But with the healing, with good damage over time with his shotgun spread, and with his bomb, it's great to protect executions because he ragdolls everybody. So I wouldn't want to put him as low as B, but he's not quite S. So I think he's going to land in A as well. But I don't know if I'm going to put him at a high A.
Well, don't forget that his jump is kind of his mobility. With that, he can jump really high in the air and get to areas that no one else can. That allows him to be safer
Yeah,
than enter safe spots depending on the area they're in. And then you just kind of take pot shots. So that's a really good pressure. You can just keep that pressure on, and then drop a bomb every once in a while to really screw up the enemy. So I don't know. He brings a lot to the table. Without Mephisto, I feel like the totem would just fall apart, especially if you have
no, I
Ravagers.
agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's fast, and he does have a high jump. That jump's a bit of a double-edged sword though, because if you get caught, if you don't land on something around the peak of the jump, and you're in combat and you're just floating down, people who are hip to Mephisto know that you're not getting a lot of forward and back movement. So they're going to look up and either catch you in the air or they're going to
Oh
catch
yeah.
you when you land. So, I mean, he does have good mobility, but he doesn't have, say, like blade mobility or even Oopsie mobility, I would say. Because, Oopsie's got a dash.
His jump is very hard to deal with if you're Blade. Say
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because Blade doesn't get that much verticality as Mephisto, but if you're a six shooter, he
Yeah, you're
becomes an
just
easy target.
skeet shooting.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends. It'd be much easier target for Headhunter. I mean, Headhunter's on their team, so I guess you don't have to worry about that. But Zombotoid,
Unless
any other
free for all
ranged
happens.
character, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm just making fun. Um but no, yeah, a lot of that, he can definitely get away from a lot of melee puppets thanks to the jump. But, if they know where you're coming down, they can still kind of catch you. You have to be mindful of where you're jumping.
Yeah, you have to be very. You gotta have a goal in mind. Don't just bunny hop with him, or else you're gonna die.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the template, bro. We're getting a lot of use out of it. Now, Totem Warrior, he's our last boy to place.
S
In
tier.
Puppet Wars, he S tier. I kind of agree, to be honest. Like with the block and the lunge and the self heal on bite, Totem
Not to
Warrior is a
mention you can
big
have
contender.
multiple.
Yeah,
You know, he's kind of a monster.
the big thing about that lunge is you can go to a bed and see someone else going for a health, and if you hit that right click and lunge to that health, you will beat them there 9 times out of 10. So
Oh
he
yeah.
can absolutely health starve and absolutely melt people. So before we
Here's the
go ahead,
yeah.
no,
I guess we're
please.
gonna get into that next. I was gonna say, is he better than Zutek? But I guess we're gonna get into that next. So we'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
save it.
yes. We'll fine tune our tiers now. Um, I would definitely we'll start at the bottom because I'll definitely say Leech Woman over Tunneler. Now in B tier, I think I would say Mr. Static over Zombotoid over Six Shooter. I feel like that's solid how that's set up.
Hmm.
Oh, you disagree?
I think six shooter is probably the best out of the three, in my opinion. But I'm a big fan of six shooter. I don't know. I think it's just because his damage and the lasso, like you're rooting someone down for 3 seconds and just you can unload 12 bullets into them. That's a guaranteed kill. But it can be a little hard to pull off, and he's got a kind of a weird jump, so that could be tricky too. But so
And
does
he
Mr.
doesn't
Static.
have the safety. He doesn't have the safety that Static and Zombotoid have with their movement abilities. Like they have a get the fuck out button, whereas he has lasso and then his movement speed.
Yeah, but that's if you think of it, if you have the if I'm a six shooter and I see a Zombotoid or Mr. Static, I go, ooh, easy picking. I don't go, oh shit. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean, yeah, that's fair.
because if their strength is running away, I think six shooter wins. Because it's just I don't Zombotoid is not going to survive the reload. The six shooter doesn't need to reload to kill Zombotoid, and
That's
Mr.
fair.
Static's bullets aren't fast enough, and his static bomb is only going to knock six shooter around a little bit. So I feel like six shooter has the edge out of all three of them because of the fire rate and the damage that his bolts can do. Zombotoid's rifle does more damage per shot, but his shots are so much slower.
Yeah.
And if you're wiggling around a six shooter, Zombotoid's going to be missing. I mean, unless he's a really good shot, but it takes like 3 or 4 shots to kill six shooter with his rifle. But only
How many
one.
would it take for Static to down a six shooter?
Well, six shooter has 75 health without perks. Um, and Mr. Static does 5 damage per shot, and he does 5 blasts, 5 bursts of lasers
So
per shot.
25. So it would take him 3 rounds to
Yeah,
down six shooter.
and that's a
Six
long time.
shooter. Yeah.
And he's probably
I'm
not
kind
hitting
of
all those.
breaking down
Six
the
shooters.
math.
Yeah, the further away he is, the weaker he becomes. Because Zombatoid kind of needs to be in that medium range, or not Zombatoid. Mr. Static needs to be where Zombatoid is weak, the medium range. Zombatoid's much better at further away, whereas Mr. Static needs to get closer, so his bolts will hit faster. Otherwise, he's going to end up missing his shots because people are moving around so much. If you're trying to snipe, you're kind of just spraying and praying at that point. By the time the bullet
I
gets
could
there,
actually
it's moved.
break it down simpler than that. Like perked out six shooters doing 10 damage per shot. That's 60 damage per clip. Right there, he's out damaging Mr. Static and able to kill Mr. Static in 2 clips, whereas Mr. Static would take 3 clips to kill six shooter. So that's
Yeah,
enough for me to bump him up.
yeah. I'm definitely thinking about six shooters' damage potential when coming up with their numbers for their damage. So yeah, it's like they fire. They're at much slower fire rates than six shooter. Six shooter you can just pretty much as fast as you can click it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially if it's perked out, it's got less recoil. You're gonna hit most of those shots if you're really good. Yeah, I don't know. Six shooter's definitely the best range.
And now we got our messy tier. Our tier that is absolutely jam packed. A tier.
I would even say that six shooter versus headhunter, six shooter wins, but that's just me.
I disagree. I disagree.
Prove it in the ring.
Oh, we'll 1v. Don't worry, bro. We'll 1v1. I'm down.
One on one, six
Okay.
shooter, the showdown at noon,
It's high noon.
high noon in attic. Be
We're
there.
gonna we're gonna move Ravager down to bottom of A just because of his squishiness.
I don't know. Ravager makes
Jack
me
Attack
panic.
needs to be higher because I was conflicted whether or not he should go to S or A. Grizzly Teddy. Well, let's see. Pinhead should be below. I like it like that. I'm looking Jack Attack, Jester, Pinhead, Grizzly Teddy, Headhunter, Blade, Mephisto, Ravager. I feel like that's accurate.
I feel like Ravager would fuck up a lot of these guys.
I mean, he would. That's kind of the thing, but it's we're talking Puppet Wars and human executions. You can have multiple Ravagers, but they also get a big target on their back because of how quickly they can melt. So in their low health pool.
Yeah, I guess I'm starting to think more of one. Like I'm thinking 1v1 with each one of these characters, and Ravager kills Pinhead probably, unless Pinhead
Oh
starts
yeah.
backing. Like, unless you're really smart with Pinhead, that Ravager may melt you before you figure out what to do. And it happened to me with Jack Attack. I was trying to get an execution. I got held down by this Ravager, and he just melted me. Just went through my health pool with that right click, and it just was
I'll
too late by
bump
the time I started
Ravager up.
reacting. I feel like
I'll
Ravager
bump
is just
Ravager.
he's very strong. I don't know. I don't know. I don't mean to steal your list.
No, you're fine.
I feel like Blade would kill Ravager though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they melt them pretty regularly.
Those dashes are kind of the Ravager's counter
Yeah,
because you can't
any kind of
really
iframe.
anyone has a dash can get out of that Ravager stun lock. And the Blade's got the
I
damage
think
to kill a Ravager pretty quickly.
And a headhunter, if a headhunter manages his distance, he can absolutely overcome a blade. I feel like this is accurate because like Mephisto is very team reliant, and
Hmm.
like Ravager can get solo downs, or solo kills. Grizzly Teddy can get solo kills. Pinhead's got the execution utility. I think this is a solid lineup for how A should kind of pan out.
I mean, the Mephisto bomb is so good at countering the executions and the healing radius. Like he kind of, I don't know. I feel like it definitely gives him an edge against some of these characters as far as their strength on the team. Like a Ravager is only like a Ravager is
He's only
really
good
good
for
with Mephisto.
pickoffs.
Yeah, Ravagers are good when Mephisto's around and you kind of catch someone off guard and start melting them before they get a chance to really react to you. But it's they're all situational. It's kind of like you got to pick one situation and kind of just compare everyone to that situation. But
Right.
Mephisto, I feel like Mephisto should be a little higher just because he's got that I don't
Would
know.
you put him above Pinhead? Like between uh Jester and Pinhead?
Hard to say. I mean, probably. I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, what do you feel? I'm just throwing my feelings into the fray as you're doing this.
Oh
Hopefully,
no,
it's
you're
helpful.
fine. Because it kind of helps inform my decisions as well. Because, I with toys being new, a lot of this is kind of like in the air as well. Let's move up to S and see what we can do to organize S a little bit. Baby Oopsie over Sutek. Yeah, because of the sustain. Um, let's see. Decap. We'll see. Sutek over Torch. I would say yeah because of the multiple ragdolls. Torch
Mm.
over Monster Teddy, maybe not because Monster Teddy can handle a torch if they're at full health and they're aware of what's going on. Plus the execution uh guarantee.
Hmm.
Um I'm muted.
I'm kind of wondering about the Oopsie over Zootek. I mean, I guess Oopsie can heal himself with perks, but are we really? I guess it's a little too late to bring this up now, but are we really considering perks? I guess we have to at this point.
Well, I mean, you can throw perks out and I would still say he's still just as viable because he also has a ragdoll, but he also has the defensive on his dash that Sutek doesn't have. And
But Zootek doesn't
between
need
the
that really, other than
well, I
I
mean,
guess to
yeah, that's
absorb
true.
damage. If you're looking at ragdoll potential, the Zootek has got Baby Oopsie beat. Like he can't be ragdolled
That's
at
true.
all. Whereas Oopsie needs the dash to avoid it, and it's pretty tricky to land. But Oopsie can absorb damage entirely and get distance. But so can Zootek, but he can cause damage with his lunge. Uh, the lightning bolt is harder to hit with, but it has a shorter cooldown, I think, if
Well,
I
it also
remember
serves some
correctly.
purposes as well because the lightning bolt's really good in Puppet Wars for catching people trying to retreat and heal or
Yeah.
trying to push people off of stuff. It does have utility. Um, I mean, yeah, I could bump Oopsie down. I don't know, man. His damage, he has so much good kill potential. That's why I put him so high.
Oh yeah, I love fighting with Oopsie.
I would definitely put him over Monster Teddy because Monster Teddy kind of becomes reliant on Oopsie at a point.
Not necessarily.
Um,
He can. I mean, if anyone fights Monster Teddy in melee range, Monster Teddy can heal himself.
I mean that's true.
And well, another thing to consider with Monster Teddy is he can't heal himself outside of attacking. He can't get those jars.
Yeah, and that's kind of
That's a
what
big
makes
thing.
me like Yeah, that's kind of what makes me say like he's kind of reliant on Oopsie because he can't go and grab health. He's kind of stuck with his self heal, which is there, but it's not like massive. It's not like Grizzly Teddy's self heal or Totem Warrior's self heal, where they can kind of sustain themselves with it. It it's enough to keep him in the fight, but not to the extent of say uh those characters previously mentioned. I really wonder what your thoughts of where Decap should be on that list because I know Decap needs to be bumped up, and I don't know if I
Decap
would
is
have
definitely better
him.
than Monster Teddy in Puppet
Yeah,
Wars, and I would say, I mean, Decap
this is
might
going to
have the
be the
most.
toughest one to organize because they're all really big players in Puppet Wars. Rank the humans on this list. We might do a human list one day. Yeah, they're a different monster entirely. Um, yeah, the question is like decap over Baby Oopsie, decap over Sutek. Decap could go over Sutek if you're doing good head management and you're using the right head for each situation, especially with like the reveal. The big damage on the Tesla head that can be used to pick puppets off of executions. And, the AoE heal can really turn the tide of a fight.
Yeah, Decapitron's weakest thing is Zutek's strength. So Decapitron is weak at just fighting. Unless someone's just sitting there not paying attention, it'll just take lightning bolts. Uh, Decapitron's kind of like Zutek is Decapitron's counter in a way
Yeah,
because he can
I
get up in
agree.
Decapitron's face to the point where Nick and I were actually very worried about when they first fought each other if it's going to feel like Decapitron's a little pushover. So we gave him that lightning ball move to kind of help him keep Zutek away. Because landing those lightning hit bolts on another puppet is very tricky. It takes a lot of skill to do. Um,
Which is why it's so huge on execution steals because usually that's a static target. They're in one position for a lot of that.
the only reason I think Decapitron is so good right now because of the speed buff we gave him in November.
It
Uh,
definitely
that,
makes him hard to kind of like focus down and kill because once he's moving with that heel head, like it's a real rough game of chase unless you ragdoll him.
yeah,
He
I
may
think
be
it might
getting
be too
bumped up.
overcooked. He might be a bit overcooked in that speed department. We might be getting a nerf soon on that. Not to affect your list, but
No, no,
it's like
no, no.
what I've been playing the last 3 days and just thinking about it, chewing on that. Like I'll try to wear down Decapitron, and he would just put on that head and just run away. I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't
It
feel right to
definitely
me.
it definitely kind of puts the other team at a awkward situation because there's not a lot of people that'll keep up with them.
Yeah, he needs to be. Is probably as fast as I would say Jester, or I think he might be faster than Jester or something at that point. The way we're doing that speed boost is different than every other. We're using like multipliers tied to the heads that will adjust his speed when he equips the different heads. And it's a little tricky to get it just right. So we're still kind of like tweaking those numbers around. I think so. But yeah, right now I think he's probably one of the best because of the support capabilities. But if you get him in a
I
one-on-one
agree.
fight with anyone, he might be in trouble. And
Anyone
without that speed
melee,
boost, he can't really get away. He's got no melee attack. He's got no, and those electric balls are really hard to hit with, which is good because he should be not doing a whole lot when it comes to fighting with that head on.
it's really more of a defensive option. It's more of a like get stuff off of me so I can move type thing because it has knockback and it has slow. It's
Yeah,
it's really meant as a defensive item.
but he is really good.
Oh yeah, I agree.
He has more
I guess
impact
it.
on the match than Zutek would.
Oh, I agree with
Zutek
that
just
as
feels
well.
like a beefy warrior, and
And
his
getting to
yeah.
warrior, would we say that Torch is over warrior just because of the AoE potential compared to the single target potential of warrior? So that's kind of where I'm landing. It's a tough call because the warrior
Warrior is
has
great.
the sustain.
Warrior, yeah, he's got that bite and block, so he can keep himself alive a lot longer. And he's got some really good melee damage, some good lunging speed. I think like if a warrior met a torch, that torch would probably be worried.
I
Usually,
agree.
yeah, especially another thing to consider with warrior is you can have multiple. Your whole team could be warriors, and that's really dangerous for the enemy team. Especially if at least if one person's at least Mephisto and you have everyone warriors, that's a really strong tank to have. But you have to be real war coordinated with totems to pull stuff like that off. But it's there. Same thing with
Um,
Ravagers. You know, you can do that. It's like I guess part of my thought process with those two characters is like one's like if you think about StarCraft, it's like one's like a Zergling and one's like a Hydralisk in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's like
Very, very much that vibe. Yeah, absolutely.
hmm
Um, I had a thought about warrior, and it's left me, and it was a poignant thought. Oh
oh, I'm
no, would
sorry.
you say no, no, no? You're fine. Um, I'm tempted to say warrior over monster Teddy because they also have 100 health. Like they have a pretty beefy health pool, which can allow them to get executions. The downside is they have one of those slightly longer executions that kind of keeps them in danger, but they do have the health to try to make it happen.
I would say Monster Teddy versus a warrior, Monster Teddy wins in a fight, 1-on-1.
I've done the opposite
I mean, it depends
thanks
on
to
the
the
Monster Teddy
sustain.
too.
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
Like the warrior can only bite every so often, but Monster Teddy, every attack he has is basically bite that the
Yeah,
warrior
that's
does. Like
true.
every swing he does is basically what bite is for the warrior. The only thing he has is a little block move that will help his 100 health last a little bit longer. So if he times everything right, he might be able to get at least 200 health out of a fight. But Monster Trade's got 250. Plus, he's
Yeah.
got his sprint and his bear
E,
barge, which
the
is E.
E. Yeah.
It's
Monster
I
Teddy
don't know,
does
like
have a dash.
yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
I'm letting
it's
somebody
more of
know
like a
here.
speed move. It's not really a dash because you're not invincible at all, but you
I
can
mean, that's
speed up.
true, but it's huge mobility. Like you definitely get the fuck out of Dodge with it.
hmm But retreating isn't really very helpful for him. He can't like recover his health.
That's true. It's not like he can go find health. The best he can do is go hope he can find a baby oopsie.
hmm Um, the thought process behind that ability is to jump scare the fuck out of a human. With it,
It's
it's
definitely
not really a
intimidating when
retreat.
you hear thump, 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 thump coming down the damn hallway. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess the thought process, like to keep him balanced to the point where he's not just in your face all the time, is to like if you don't have a gun, and I'm talking more mostly by human perspective at this
Yeah,
point. But like if you don't have a gun, the monster Teddy would probably want to stay out of sight until they have a good idea where the human is, then use the sprint to close the gap and start pummeling them,
yeah,
uh, and then hope the human doesn't run away, or use the sprint and then do bear barge right as they're like about to close the gap, and then hit them really hard, and hopefully they're either damaged or they're ragdolled long enough for the other toys to show up to finish the job. Because I think that bear barge doesn't do enough to instant down a human. It will ragdoll them, but it will kill most puppets.
Yeah,
It's a
it
little
and
buggy
that's
right now if you are constantly attacking, which has been annoying me. We gotta figure out how to fix that. So it does like you can like use it and it'll be a dud or something if you're not careful. But
yeah, because you can definitely animation cancel it and just be like, all right, everybody's ragdolled right now.
mhm.
Well, I think that locks us in, man. I really appreciate you doing this along with me.
It's fun.
I think this is where I would say all the characters are at currently. Um, that being
I
said, I
may
think we're good. Oh, go ahead, please.
I s- I still feel like Blade in my list. I never really
Y-
finished the list because I feel like I just need more time to like mull mine over. But
Yeah,
I think Blade would definitely be an S tier in my list because it's just if you're really if you're really good with him, you could do so much damage. It's just like his executions are hard to do unless you're going out in solo missions and just hunting the human down by yourself while everyone else fights. That's his only downside in Puppet Wars mode. But like I was fighting Renzo the other day in Puppet Wars, and he was destroying me as Blade. He was just messing me up and then running away, hiding, coming back, and it's just like it was like Shadow. The fact that you can 1v1 pretty much anyone with him, that is just he's just really good in my opinion.
that's what I'm. Someone absolutely called it out in chat. The reason I have him so low is a lot due to his skill ceiling. Like you can do that stuff, but that takes a very high level of play with Blade. You have to be able to approach enemies confidently and manage that iframe. You have to be getting the most out of his kit, especially in those, fights against, say, Jack Attack, Sutek, people that could really just, give him a couple of smacks and then there's no more Blade.
The key to Blade is landing that third attack in his
Oh, yeah.
combo. That cross attack is very good, and if you sometimes I like to just attack twice, warm it up to a third attack, dash into them, and do that through them, and it'll wear them down. A lot of people like to rely on that hook. The hook is not going to give you as much as the cross does. It's just something. It's a little trickier to do because you only have like a second to pull it off
Yeah, you got
before
to
it
like
resets the
buffer it
combo.
in.
Yeah.
I think we're locked in. Everyone get a screenshot of it now before I take a quick break, run to the restroom, and the wife and I will probably do some Puppet Wars if you'd like to play a couple rounds before it gets any later.
I'll play a few rounds. It is getting late. I got to start winding down and do some chores before I go to bed. But yeah, I'd play a few. After talking about it, I definitely want to test some of our theories out.
Put it to the test. Yeah, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a short break, everybody. We'll be right back. Long enough for me to run to the restroom and put up a lobby. All right, folks, we're back. We got one slot left if anybody else is looking to join. I'm gonna go ahead and hit start, and we're gonna rock and roll. That's right. Oh, what was it? What was it? It was Headhunter and who? Headhunter and who? 6-shooter? I'm trying to remember what the 1v1 is. We'll do a round of totems later, so me and Drake can settle the score.
I mean, I listened to the whole entire thing and still have no idea. I'll be honest with you, some stuff I just tune on out. I'm like, I hear it all the time.
It's my life.
Yeah, same.
It's become her life because I don't have anybody other than her to bounce meta off of all the time. She catches a lot of Puppet Master meta discussion.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, I have to run by execution ideas by my wife. Like, so I'm thinking of having the baby shoot the guy in the face after he pukes on him. What do you think? She's like, your thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you up. Yeah.
Close, 6, close.
Oh,
Look
I
now.
didn't fix that. Oh well.
What did you not fix, dear?
Brent.
Oh,
Doesn't matter. It's not like I'm doing anything great anyways.
Hi, you dumb shit. We're gonna make you a bitch. The master's
ooh,
gonna enjoy
Drake.
that.
While I'm thinking about it, because she definitely just brought it to my attention.
oh man.
Would it
Ow.
would it be a big problem to have the shift be on standard by default and then toggle sprint be something you turn on later? Because I think it's right now like the default option.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. It's something I would prefer actually. But once we added that feature, it just kind of that became default and became put on the back burner while other things were being done.
The master's gonna enjoy. The master's gonna enjoy that. We're gonna make you a bitch.
Oh, that was so unfortunate.
Do we have human on, or no? Is it just?
I told you I was going to do that.
If you look at the scoreboard, you can see the agent bot on the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah.
How
I
do
didn't
that?
ignore that. I smart.
Tab.
Oh.
And if you want to talk, it's left alt by default. I made a rhyme
No,
so it
thank
was easy
you.
to remember.
Oh, you did? You made
Yeah.
a rap?
No.
I was just wondering.
Also, Jack's sound design is probably the greatest thing ever.
Only Nick was here.
I wanted to invite him, but I didn't know if it was something he would like be interested in doing or not.
Oh crap! Bear trap.
Decap just got beasted in the bathtub. Nobody wants to play with Jackie?
The master's gonna enjoy that.
Oh, I figured out how people are buffering in the Jack in the Box on the sprint or on the travel mode.
They started it and then they entered travel mode.
Yeah, enter travel mode, switch weapons.
man, I'm keeping myself alive for life there for a while.
Oh, were you Leech Woman? That was
Yeah.
getting really sketchy. I got out of there with like 20 health.
I missed a shot or probably cost me that fight.
I'm so sorry, Pinhead. Not really, but at the same time, yes, I am.
Oh, the human ate the Jack in the Box shit instead of Chester. Oof. Rip Tunneler.
Ooh, sorry, Mr. Static.
Ooh. I'm telling you, man, sometimes Agent Bot is like the smartest human player ever. I was Jack Attack, he kicked me and unloaded a clip into me, like.
The master's gonna enjoy that. The master's gonna enjoy that.
I got
The
you,
master's
booty
gonna enjoy
consumer.
The master's gonna enjoy
Proceed
that.
to consume booty.
Wow.
That's right, Pinhead, run!
Dickhead. Kiss my ass. I'm dead used to this. The master's gonna enjoy that.
Body blocking it, where there?
The master's gonna enjoy that. The master's gonna enjoy that. The master's gonna enjoy it. The master's gonna enjoy that. Ow! Ow! The master's gonna enjoy. The master's gonna
Nope,
enjoy
I'm out
that.
of heal charges. Damn. I just got straight iced by Decap. That's a damn fine shot.
Do my best. Get back here!
Teddy's run speed's the same with the bat as it is without the bat, right?
Only if it only slows down when he charges it.
Okay, that's what I thought. That shit hurted. Oh. Pinhead just walks up. Brick. No, come here, human. I need health. Damn. Not enough.
catching up, puppets.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a close game. Oh, look at all the puppets in here.
Hey, on time. Really unfortunate you just healed. That's not bueno for me.
Sir, where's your hitbox?
Now that I know that bite pulls you in, I definitely try to, like, utilize that more.
What's that?
The bite, like the right click on Monster Teddy, will bring the enemy towards you, like Blade's hook.
Like you said. Nice.
You're the only one who got to enjoy that.
I know. I said nice. Obviously, it was just for me.
That's right, baby. Flee, leech woman, flee!
Give me all the armor.
I will say, it just judging from how it affects the bot, Mr. Static is probably really good in human game modes.
Oh yeah, those headshots are great.
I see the
We'll
melt
get more
potential.
time with human game modes.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing some more Manhunt soon. This game mode's just like the gameplay loop is just really fucking up my alley with Puppet Wars. It's more casual, but it does
Oh,
still
yeah.
have objective and
Trinity
you know
friends.
strategy to it.
Wizard Tank really needs friends. Elevator. Thank you. I'm gonna die.
Oh, I'm so glad you had to reload. Die, 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 die. Come on, Jester. Damn, I couldn't stop that execution. Oh, hi, hello. All the puppets are on Mr. Static. Oh, Tunneler stole my health. I'm dead. I'm a dead boy. Oh, fuck.
You shit your... That's the funniest shit to me.
That's your favorite line, ain't it?
Yes. I mean, no.
Beat 'em. That's game. Good game.
Unique?
Nuts. Good game. Feet sticking out of the wall.
Oh, we lost Booty Consumer for Toad. Do you think he sounds like Toad?
Booty consumer? I would assume so.
What, you figure they got Thresh? Damn.
I just figured someone with the voice, with the name Booty Consumer sounds like the character Toad from Mario.
Yeah. I would assume if someone had Thresh really bad, they would sound like Toad. Let's do one more with toys, and then we'll do some totems. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be a poop it this time.
I should probably actually stop after this one match.
Okay, that's fair. I see. Running away from the 1v1. I got it.
All right, we'll end with a 1v1. It's just we're first to like 3 kills or something.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, I'll make a private lobby and everything. I'm down. I think it was Headhunter and 6-shooter.
It's me. What's the problem?
You Headhunter, 6-shooter, Blade and Oopsie.
Yeah, hit a couple of those matchups we talked about earlier. I'm down for that.
Oh wow, point blank with the Capitron's laser? That's crazy.
The magic must prevail. Protect the magic.
Ooh, that was a really good rocket by Static. He knocked me out of line of sight before I hit him with the Tesla.
That was you.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I saw the Decapitron charge in for laser right in front of me, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna hit me with that, and then I was wrong.
Leave this place.
Nope.
You targeted the wrong puppet.
Keep the magic from me.
Enjoy it.
Ooh, nicely done.
That wouldn't be help. There was a two-sided bet for one of the two great vents, and I broke the outside vent first before the one that was nearest to me.
Oh man, someone brought up something in chat that is probably a very real issue. You can't destroy all the Raven statues as Monster Teddy. There's no way.
Where?
Well, like multiple maps have Raven statues and vents. How is Monster Teddy supposed to vent?
Did they check and see if they were moved? Because they were in the patch notes that they were moved.
Ooh. Well, maybe that's a shout out to double check that, my guy. I didn't know that he had unique Raven statue spawns.
doesn't.
That was
I
just
just
like I was like,
moved
oh
them
gosh.
I just moved them slightly to spots where you can hit them. So like the
I
one
mean,
that's in this map, that's in the like the one that's in the high vents in that
Yeah.
midsection area. I just pushed
Yeah.
it down to a box lower enough that Monster Teddy can hit it with his hand.
Ah, so if you know it's there, you can just be like smack, or you're able to see it.
Right, yeah, it's there. It's roughly in the same spot, just in a spot where Monster Teddy can hit it now.
Okay. Well, kudos to you for having more foresight than I would have.
Oh, I mean, like, introducing a human-sized puppet character, we had to ask all those questions.
Exactly.
We had to make those curse doors breakable.
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that door. But I don't play offline, like hardly ever. I got the journals and I was like, okay, done. Because, you know, I like the multiplayer aspect.
There's a donkey.
Yo, Blade.
Where you going? Oh, you had to heal.
Itching. We need help.
Blade, no, I should have healed you.
Problem.
You're a lifesaver.
No, you
Huh, I still got it.
something
Woo.
Stay away from him. I love him.
I'm shooting ankles. Who's the fucking Christ?
Nicely done. Damn, I had 2 health bars for that fight.
yeah, it was a tough fight. I fought you and Blade.
True? Damn.
Oopsie is truly S tier.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, he's an absolute unit. And this right here, folks, this is why Torch got put in S tier.
Oh no!
We'll close some
Oh,
doors
man.
and give you some privacy decap, especially considering the werebear just spawned in there. Okay.
Hey.
This decap is way too fast.
Yeah, he pretty much outruns most enemies. He's just like, and I'm gone. Yes, get him, agent. Get him, agent. Get him, agent.
You went over here on the account.
I totally wasn't using Monster Teddy as a body shield.
cast Vial of
Jump the
Sanity. Puppets are destroying stuff.
Oh, nap time. Oof. Yeah, I zigged when I should have zagged. Oh, bad bounce on that bomb. That is not where I wanted it to go. Ooh, caught me before I got another bomb down, because I was about to.
No, Pinhead.
The puppets and I see this magic.
Oof.
The magic must prevail.
There you go, great.
Yeah, we've been ganking executions pretty regular. Don't you run from me! Okay, maybe you'll run from me. Then again, I guess you really can't say Jack Attack runs. I am now in danger. Okay, that's fine. Shut the door. I'm now safe. Ooh, it still hit me. Oh, no, 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 no. That's too much. That's too much. What did I see? Don't matter what I seen. Good game.
Good
GG.
game.
If you need to bounce, man, I get it. If you want
Yeah.
to do the 1v1 thing, maybe we do that another day. We'll plan that out and hype it up a little bit. Because I'm down.
Oh man, it's almost 10 o'clock where I'm at. I gotta
Yeah, so you can imagine. Yeah, trust me, it's
Yeah.
well beyond late for me. I'm just having a blast.
Yeah, rain check on that 1v1.
Absolutely, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
All right.
You heard it first here. I think I need to call it, honestly. It's way later than I should be up. We got a little bit of an hour in. Hopefully, we'll get some more in tomorrow. Drake, I want to thank you again for coming out, hanging out with us. I've had a blast. You know, everyone who's tuned in, thank you guys for coming out, and I hope everyone has a wonderful night.
You too. Later.